So next up is Cindy. Hi, Cindy.
Oh, hi.
Hi. So this is, whoops, not this one.
That's it, yeah.
Okay, so this is the final.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us a bit about what you wanted to show here.
Okay, so this was a composite of 3 images, and so the beach is Juno Beach, and the cemetery is from the American Cemetery in Normandy, France, and then the barbed wire that was from a place called Pontuac, where it was a place where the American soldiers were scaling these 100-foot cliffs. So I was on a tour, one-day tour of Normandy. I took the 3 images, and then when I got home, I thought I would try to put them together more about like remembering the fallen soldiers. And what I'm having trouble with in terms of the images to showing like the barbed wire, because in the image of Pontuac, you see a lot of the grass. So whenever I had the wire come through more, and like on the right side of the image, then the grass would show. So I'm, I guess, wanting to put them together, but better than I did.
Yeah, so you have to master the fine art of selection.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what Photoshop pretty much comes down to, is refining your selections. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. We have this image.
Yeah.
Let's bring it into here. I don't know yet which one is going to be on top, which one's on the bottom. I'm just kind of bringing them all into one file. And if you work with Lightroom, you can just highlight them all and then right click and say open as layers in a stack. I believe it's the most bottom option when you right click. And then this one we're going to bring in as well. Just reposition it. Now, don't forget that you can always move things around and scale them when you're creating a composite. And was that the last one? Yeah, we did bring the barbed wire in, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just the 3, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. And it's the barbed wire that you wanted to show the way it overlays.
Yes.
Okay, so let's do one thing at a time. So the first thing I would do before I would do anything else is to check the blending modes, see if it works with different blending modes. Okay, I can see the barbed wire here more when it's on multiply because the barbed wire are darker. Okay, and here I'm losing it, and I'm losing the bottom. Okay, so I see that the best option to keep the grass, hold on, I'm confused with what we had before. We had the sand underneath it. Where was it? I think it was not this one. Yeah, I don't think any of these are giving you the best result. I thought there was one that did a better job.
The multiply?
Yeah, but even still, what you might have to do is, what the multiply is doing is it's taking only the dark tones. So I'm going to go to this image and I'm going to change. Now the thing is, what you want to do is not your basic post-processing. Okay, so I can do what it is you need to do here, but it doesn't fall on your basic post-processing. It's very advanced because to separate the barbed wire from the background is very hard. Okay?
Okay.
Because you can't do a brush, you can't do the quick selection, you can't do anything that's very quick and simple.
That's why I was struggling with the grass, because the grass kept showing up.
Yes. So everything whatever it is you want to achieve, it's much more complicated and advanced. And what is your knowledge of Photoshop, Cindy?
A bit better than beginner. I wouldn't say I'm an intermediate or anything like that, but
but you know your way around masks and selections.
Yeah, I do. Layer masks and
layers.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I want to increase the contrast on this image. I want to make the darks darker and the brights brighter. So before Photoshop had layers, you would do that through image adjustments, and you'd go here. And if I choose anything here while I'm on a pixel layer, I'm creating destructive changes. But that's okay. I want to do that now. I want to just increase the contrast on this layer. I'm going to make the dark, because I want the barbed wire, but it's making the grass. And this I can actually easily brush out a bit and keep the barbed wire. So I'm going to make the brights brighter and the darks darker. Okay. So now this is my image, and I've actually created destructive changes to it. But now if I change the blending mode to multiply, I'll see the barbed wire pop out a lot more. And if I don't want so much of the grassy area here, I can use a brush. I choose a lower opacity.
Right.
And get rid of it. And the sand will show. Now, I'd probably want to move the barbed wire over to the side, something like that. And you could even warp it because it's barbed wire. It's not a building. So you can go to Edit, Transform, and let's just click this. Let's choose Distort. So if I wanted it going like in that direction, and I could take it down, because nobody really knows how it went. So I just want it on the edge. I want it on the edge of my.
Right.
Yeah, I want it more like that. I'm not doing a good job on selecting the angle. Okay. Say this is good. And I do have to clean up the tie-ins. I don't want this. I don't want that. Now, we're getting residue of the blue sky here, and you're going to have a hard time matching all the colors. It might be better to just work in black and white. Otherwise, what you're going to need to do is do a color correction for this layer only, so that this isn't blue here. You want to get rid of the blue because you have the sandy sky. So you'd have, again, you'd have a color balance. And you want to get rid of the blue, but you want to make it a clipping mask so it doesn't affect your other image. Yeah. It's tricky to get rid of this color. I'm sure there are better ways to do it.
Black and white would probably work better.
Yeah, I think a black and white would probably do a much better job. And then so if I just add the black and white. Yeah, and now you don't have to deal with it. And the barbed wire is here. And you can decide how much of this you want to get rid of. And you could always move the barbed wire more to the edge, or even horizontal would work. And now when we turn this on, very similar. Okay, I can either reduce the opacity and then make it blend. I'm going to put it below the black and white so I don't have the strong green. Again, feel free to frame it as you like. Okay.
Right.
Now, if you did want to create changes to this layer to make it maybe pop out, have the crosses pop out a lot more, and not create destructive changes to this layer, I would add an adjustment layer, say a levels, to increase contrast. Again, I'm going to create a clipping mask. This means it's only affecting the layer below.
Yep. I think I originally just selected the crosses and brought them in, but I like that.
Yeah. So if you just select the crosses, let me close this. We have a lot of files open. Yeah, you can just select the crosses. It might be easy actually. Let's have a look. So whenever you have an image that has very distinct colors like you do here, you can select something by color. Okay, and you could do that in a few different ways to make a selection by color. You can either choose the magic wand. The magic wand lives with the quick selection, and it has a tolerance here of 15. So it's going to pick up 15 pixels near where I clicked. So it's clicking all the white, bright tones. Okay, and I'm just going to click on these little things too. Okay, so the crosses are all selected because it was selected by tone. Okay, so I could do the magic wand, and I could have also gone to select, and where is it? Color range. Okay, and now I'm going to sample a color, and I could add to my sample of colors.
Oh, right. Okay.
And you can see the mask changing in real time.
Yeah.
Now this is a mask, so you can always kind of correct it. You have a tolerance here as well, and you could fix it and select more. But you can see how they're selected pretty nicely. So once I click OK, I'll see my marching ants. Okay. Now you can still keep tweaking here. You can tweak even with a quick selection, because these are marching ants, and I could just add, oh, look how beautifully it chose that, and it chose that. Okay, I just needed to fix, but we can always fix it afterwards as well. Let's make this into one selection. So now that I have marching ants, I can make a mask out of this. So I can create a mask like that. Now it's very extreme. Ideally you'd want to feather this mask a bit. So I'm going to double click, and you could add here, when you look at the properties, you can add some feathering. Okay, now it's picking up the background. That's what's dangerous here. Okay, and if you wanted to show maybe a little bit of the grass or what's behind, you can always work on this mask and add more. You have this mask. It was a very easy selection. If you want to darken the sky a bit, first of all, we reduce the opacity of this a bit to make it blend in a bit more.
Yeah.
Okay, and you could even blend in the cross, like not have it so exact. Make it look more natural, blending in the bottom. Whoops, what did I just do? What did I just do? I was painting on my pixel layer, not on my mask. Okay, so you can either just go Command Z to undo, or go back before I started the brush and click here. Okay, and now I'm working on the mask, and I'm blending it in more. I'm just reducing the opacity. And do you work with a gradient at all?
No, I know I probably need to take your course.
Okay. So if I wanted to blend in the sky here very naturally, I can choose the gradient layer. So overall my mask is black when I look at this mask. So I want to show the sky. So I'm going to choose white and my linear, and just bring in maybe. So it is showing the foliage of the trees behind, but it's blending in the background. Actually, it's creating a nice composite. Our black and white is not on. So once we add the black and white. Now, if this tree is bothering you, you can get rid of it too. Like you can either clone it out on this layer, or yeah, I would just clone it out. That would be the easiest rather than dealing with it, because it's kind of interfering with the crosses. Okay?
Okay.
So a lot of different techniques. However, it's not a simple scene, because isolating the barbed wire, we can do a better job with probably channels.
Okay.
Selecting it, but it's a very nice concept of an image.
No, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Thank you, Cindy.